Good morning, guys. It's the 6th of December, 2021, and I got my little buddy there. Say my beautiful little guy. It's pretty early in the morning. It's about 3. Maddie and I both popped up. He wore me out yesterday with all the bike riding. Mama and I had that good ride, but when we came back, we were riding bikes all around up to the guard shack and back, so that kind of tired me out pretty good. But I wanted to mention the live that we had. I want to thank all you guys for joining in, and a lot of good comments. I'm going to do some more of those. I think I might do another one next weekend, and just talk about news of the day. Somebody mentioned, why don't you talk about how getting into the Philippines and all that. Well, they got a girl here, Jennifer Terry. Watch her stuff. That's what she does. For me, I just get sick of looking at it because it changes by the minute. I mean, it doesn't change by the week or the month. It changes by the minute here with what they're doing. They're like chickens with their heads cut off. They run around and for some reason they think they have to do something. Maybe it's time for them just to sit back and take a pause and do nothing. Because, it's just a bunch of crap. It's this NWO stuff. And, there was a big conference way back where 160 countries agreed they were going to cut the population down by any means necessary. There's some videos on that. You can watch that stuff. But it's a real bummer what they're doing, and it's nonstop. It's a relentless pursuit of your life, guys. Very, very terrible. But I don't know. We got a trip planned today. We're going to take Mama back and go see a couple of our buddies. We figured we better get out while the getting's good. I got a sneaky suspicion they're just going to lock everything down again. Just a bunch of crap. I'm actually getting pretty sick of it. I know Tropical Tim, should be taking his boat if they to the island if they don't stop him. He's making his big move. He was in Tondo for years, and now they're going to get out to their home that they have on the island. So we're definitely going to want to go down and see him down there. But instead of going all the way into Manila, I just hate, guys, I just can't stand going into Manila anymore. It's just a little bit too frustrating for me to have to deal with the crocodiles down there. And they're just horrible. They're trying to extract money out of you. You would think that they would, like here, they have these TMD, or whatever they call it, in this town. They're the traffic cops, and a tricycle can do whatever he wants as long as he's got that sticker on his vehicle that he paid the tax to the mayor. And they go backwards in the street. They block you. They pull out. They're just absolutely horrible. And the traffic cops refuse to do anything to them. They'll go down the one ways right past the traffic cops, and they'll stop you to let those guys through. How come they don't do that for foreigners who come here in Manila? That are bringing lots of money into the country. Foreigners come here and spend money. And I'm sure they help the economy. The last thing I saw, there was 133,000 registered, just Americans here, and we're not the highest. I think there's a lot of British here. I know when I was in Alabang, there was a lot of British folks that way, and there's a lot of Australians. We saw one development over by Mabini where there was a lot of Australian guys living there. But they come after you. I mean, it's not only you get skin tax when you go to buy things at the stores, but these damn traffic crocodiles will nail the crap out of you. I said this in a video, but there's a bunch of new viewers, and I'm going to tell you what happened to me again. I was in a left-hand turning lane, and this traffic cop blocked me. He blocked me from going through. So I tooted the horn. Hey, get out of the way. I had a gap in the traffic where I could go, and he's just standing there with his back to me. So I tooted the horn like, hey, get out of the way. And he says, where are you going? I said, I'm trying to go over there. Could you get out of the way? And he says, pull forward. And that you're not allowed to pull forward. It's a left-hand turning lane. Well, I had to pull forward for the guy. He took my license, and then he says he gave me tried to give me a ticket for pulling forward, going straight in a left-hand turning lane. I kid you not. And it was a back and forth, and finally the only way to get out of there was it cost $20. They're all crooked guys, all of them. That's all they want to do is take your damn money. And I'm just so sick of it. They're never going to do anything about it. The corruption here is just too much with those guys. I just can't stand going there anymore. I don't want to go to Manila. So if we go down to visit Tim on a boat, we want to see if there's going to be a boat from Batangas that heads over that way. Probably won't take the car. The Batangas port for us is not too far. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump over. Yesterday, like we went to Quezon before, and we went the highway and all that stuff. Well, for us, if we just head down to Padre Garcia and hang a left, not long, we're in Quezon. So, and we like it down there. We're going to go down there again here pretty soon. Spend some time on the beach, bring the tent, and we can do it without hitting on the highway. The tolls on the highway when we went last time went up a ridiculous amount. That Skyway just going to the airport area it went way up. They're just kicking the prices up on everything. So, that's a real bummer. They've hit the economy so hard here with all these lockdowns and shutdowns that don't do anything. These things don't help out. They don't do a damn thing for anybody other than transfer wealth from your pocket to theirs, guys. And I can see now, they've dropped this face shield crap. You watch. They're going to come back with this, and then the face shields. Tropical Tim, we were talking about this. They're going to be double the price, and the mask. All this is going to be double the price. So, but they've backed off. They've relented for a little bit now, but I could just see it coming like gangbusters and getting 10 times worse than it ever was. And it didn't help anything. And what are the numbers here in this country, guys? It's the flu. It's the stinking flu. And they're just not going to quit anywhere. Not just here. Anywhere in the world, they're just nailing people on this crap. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are fed up with it. I just watched a thing on the YouTube about the reset is failing with all the crap that they're pulling. I hope so. This new world order crap. But a lot of folks that got this job up, I feel really, really bad for some of them. Couldn't believe how many. They don't really report stuff here. There's no VAERS or anything like that. But a lot of folks are dying. I couldn't believe when my mother-in-law was telling me how many in her area died shortly after. And also my wife's friend that lives, I think they're in Laguna. Same thing. Just big groups in their development. Now, I did take you on a walk through where my mother-in-law lives over in Riverside. If you look at that, kind of a nice little neighborhood, friendly folks. She's been there for a long, long time, and the kids live there. Hi, buddy. Daughter and son live just a real short walk, and kind of a neat place to get into. Me, I definitely, that's a place I will not go to around dusk. I mean, my goodness, the mosquitoes down there are just ridiculous. Hey, beautiful. There's this big teddy. That's a nice one. My beautiful little guy. But getting back on, I'm going to get back on the lives again. I'm going to do some more of those. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it. And I will talk with just news of the day. Any questions you have, you can put them in the comments, and I'll see what I can do about answering anything you want. Look it up beforehand and see if I can get you some stuff. I don't know how to add articles or anything into that. I'm going to try to get the StreamYard up and running. I just made Tropical Tim a moderator for it. He suggested that, to have some moderators, and there's a couple other you guys. I'll talk to you down the road here and ask you if you want to be a moderator, and that way we can weed out some of this stupid stuff. There was, from what I seen on this last video, there was nobody that got out of line or crazy. I mean, I was reading them as I went, and it was pretty good. I don't like, the one thing I don't like on there is if there's going to be any foul stuff. My daughter can read this stuff now, and I don't want them picking it up. We don't like to use foul language around here. Just don't want it. Just don't want anything like that. Some people, if you don't like the way I think or anything, we'll still converse. One thing, guys, we all got to stick together in this mess that's going on right now. If we don't stick together, we'll surely hang separately. So we got a group. They're trying to split us up into groups because groups are easy to handle. The federales can pounce on you and just take care of a group and demonize them, and then that's the end of you. But if we all stick together, they can't touch us. There's too many of us. They're small. They're just a little tiny group, and I'm seeing all over the world. The MSN is not putting this out, but there's a lot of police are crossing the line. The first group I saw do it was in France, where they jump sides. They jump sides because they're not going for this crap either. Nobody wants this thing because there's, nobody wants to gamble on death. They don't want to gamble on the Reaper, guys. That's for sure, and it's what happened. And you say something about it, and of course this platform will kick you off. I'm sure they're really watching the heck out of me, but it's a gamble, and for what? Usually if you gamble your money, you might lose your money, but you might win some too. What's the win here with getting this thing? There's no win, guys. There's absolutely no upside to this. You can still catch it, and you can still spread it. There's no win for you. It's a lose-lose. Nobody's talking about that. You're gonna lose. There's no win. And gosh, I'm just shaking my head that people are getting it. And then I get these little sniveling people get on there. Oh, yeah, but if you take it, it won't be as bad. Well, how the hell do you know? I'm just getting sick of hearing that crap. Oh, I used to hear that with the flu shots. People would get these flu shots and then get sick as a dog for weeks. Couldn't show up to work, couldn't do nothing. And said, well, I was really, really sick. I felt like I was dying, but I'm glad I got the shot because it wasn't as bad. Well, you may have never got the damn flu if you didn't get the thing. I never had one, don't want one, never want one. I'm a firm believer, and we're here until the good Lord says we're not. And eat good. Eat good, eat healthy. Do some fasting, intermittent fasting all the time, and keep your system clean. I just went on these Japanese, what the heck are they called? They're Japanese probiotics, and it's really got me going good. I'm just made up my mind. They're expensive. They're like $1 a piece, but I'm gonna just go ahead and make sure I got 30 some every month, so I can have one every morning. They keep me going, and the thing why they're so good compared to other ones, and this was something I read a big article on this, and why they said these ones here in the Philippines made by Japan are the best. It's the case. Most of these probiotics, if you take them, your stomach acid will kill billions of them before they ever get through into your intestines. Well, this casing on the gel cap, it's a black one, that can make it through your stomach acid. But then after it gets through and it gets into your gut, then it dissolves enough to where it releases the probiotics. So that's a good thing. And they seem to be working really good. I run into trouble with this stuff just recently. This hasn't been any kind of lifelong problem with me, and I'm watching what I eat. I have to watch the breads. If I eat bread, I get sick. I just plain and simple get sick. I don't eat any cakes or pies or sugar at all. I'm like an anti-sugar guy. I just don't touch the stuff. I will chomp on a piece of gum from time to time. I like gum. That's just cleans the teeth up a little bit. I let the kids have some. Do you like gum too, mister?
Yeah.
Hey, do you like your bicycle?
Yeah.
Hey, well, hold on, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's my little buddy. He always hangs with me no matter what I go. And you always want me to ride the bikes now, huh? This little guy wore me out. I'm not kidding you. And Moo got his little bike out there. We picked up a pretty cheap one, and he's starting to ride that now, the pedal bike instead of the scooter bike. So we'll get him on that little cheap pedal bike. I'm going to get out there and put some oil on it and clean her up a little bit, and we'll get him, so that he can make it. He does really good on his little Freddie Flintstone bike, but coming up the hill, he slows down pretty good. So if we can get him on a pedal bike so he can pedal with us, we're doing big rides all around the development, and it's a lot of fun. We don't see as much as when we're walking, but I do want to say, with all the stuff, if you go into the mall and want to pay the big price, you can get super nice bikes. You can get the Giant bikes. You can get all the really good brands. But when we were in the mall and I looked at the Giant bikes, the brand name Giant, I saw a really nice one. I was like, yeah, that's a really nice bike. Yeah, $35,000. That's $600-700 for a bicycle, and I just, we're here in the Philippines. I don't want to pay that. I just don't want to pay that for a bike. So we had got the kids some cheaper ones. They don't hold up. They just don't hold up. But we got these battle bikes. I really looked around. I researched it a long time before I pulled the trigger on them. I wanted to get my sweetie one. This little guy needed one, and I'm telling you what, the quality looks super good. Fantastic. Now my wife's the front derailleur is a little bit out of adjustment. I'm going to go online and read about it, and I'm going to adjust it. It needs to come over just a hair, because it's just touching the chain when it's in the middle gear. She didn't like the gear it was in too low, and they're having trouble shifting them. Now Dorothy jumped on and she was shifting Matty bikes no problem, but we got him a 20-inch. I turned that little gooseneck on the front backwards so he's real comfortable. And now Faye got the 26-inch, and then there's a 24-inch we're going to get for Dorothy. And then I'll adjust probably the handlebars on her so that she can get on a ride. She had no problem riding Maddie's bike at all, but she would outgrow it pretty quick. She's getting pretty long, and her mom's was just a little bit too big, so that, kind of like the Three Bears, we'll get one that's just right for her, that she could grow with. So, the battle bikes here that you get on Lazada, they're not a big price. My wife's was $8,000 and Maddie's was about $8,000, which I thought was a good deal for what we got. The welds are good on it. They're just a really solid bike. Good bearings in the wheels. The brakes are the thing that really got me, and I was happy that it came that way, is the brakes are so easy to pull. And they stop good. They're disc brakes on front and rear on these new ones. And boy, they stop very well. And the cool thing was they gave you the screws with the Loctite on them already. Now on the goosenecks, I didn't have the stuff for aluminum Loctite. No stainless bolts. It's just a black coated. But we'll have to keep an eye on them. We're going to have to keep them covered so they don't get rained on. I'm going to get out and make sure we put a little bit of oil in the chain for them, and keep them up and rolling, because I think this is something that's going to be a big time family thing here. because they all like it. I mean, we're outside. We're outside riding the bikes. We're just grinning. You know, we're grinning ear to ear when we're riding. It just doesn't seem to get old. When we were at the other place, when we were in GMA, couldn't really ride a bike over there. Just too dangerous for the kids. We had a little bicycle with a sidecar on it, and we would just go to the basketball court, and Maddie would race the kids around the basketball court. That's all we could do. We couldn't, we couldn't do much else because there was no way you were getting out on the road, and you couldn't actually pull off the road because they have these ditches. You know, they got these ditches that are a foot deep that your septic tank runoff is going in. They're open, and you can't like pull off the road on a bicycle or anything. Because you got this ditch you got to contend with. So, and then dog poop everywhere. You know, it was really nasty. I know I harp on that a lot, but there's places here where it's just ridiculous. I know over at Wes's place, he was saying it's not too bad there with the dog poo over there. I didn't see too many stray dogs. I did a video a long time ago on dangers to expats in the Philippines. It was like the most popular video. Go back and check it out. And that was one thing I talked about. One of the big dangers here is the dogs. A couple of reasons. Some of them aren't socialized. If they bite you, their mouths are funky, and rabies is pretty high here. And the other thing is they run out in the road on you, and then of course nobody owns them once they do that. Once they run out, you crash your bike. Nobody owns them all of a sudden. They don't make them put tags with an owner on them. None of that stuff. I said this in a video well over a year ago. I was behind. I was on my bike. I was behind a fella, and he was in a brand new click. And he was just coming around the corner going to San Jose. A dog ran out, and boom, down he went. His brand new, beautiful bike was all scratched up. And the dog ran off. You know, it got hit. Yipe, 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 ran off. And nobody owns that. And look at this guy. He buys a brand new bike. Now he's got to go fix it because nobody can take care of their stupid dogs. It just sucks. But our motorcycle ride yesterday was absolutely fantastic. We want to do it again. When Mama comes back. There's very few people I trust with the kids, if we go somewhere. But if Mama comes back, we want to take another ride. We had the bike before, was at Rouser 135. We did a big trip on that down to Mindoro. Did the whole run of the island on it. And that was a really good bike. There was no stability issues with that. Her and I, when we were in Mindoro, we could cruise it. We would get on the road and cruise at 90 kilometers per hour, and it would just do it all day. And we did it. We drove all the way down to the southern tip in that thing, and no problems at all. This one here, yesterday, we were cruising at around 80. We were hitting spurts with her on there. We were hitting spurts. One spot before we got to Padre Garcia was a beautiful road, wide open country. You could see rice fields on either side, so there was no having to worry about a carabao running out in the road. And I wanted to see just what she would do, and we actually got it up to 100 kilometers per hour. And didn't seem like it was hurting it. The gearing on it's fantastic. I highly recommend, if you get that bike, that you do the gearing swap. Just do it right away. It's the best thing ever happened to that bike. It gives you power where you need it. If you're anything up above like 50 kilometers per hour, you don't even got a downshift. You got good power in fourth. That's all it is a 4-speed. And if you're down below third, you got power. It just opens up the power for the gearing. It keeps you in the sweet spot of the motor. Why they did it the way they did it with the gearing, I'll never know. It just was not geared properly from the get-go. If you were in slow traffic in first gear, it was way too high, and you were just burning the clutch to try to keep on your feet up. It was just horrible. Now first gear, when we were in traffic, I could just inch along real slow without riding the clutch, and in first gear. So that was like a major fix. We had to go through some, anytime we want to get out of here, you got to get through traffic, and with her on the back, as long as she sits up forward in front of the axle, I was zipping through the traffic pretty easy. I'm not going to take a lot of chances with her on the bike. I zip through the traffic. I don't wait. I boogie, plain and simple. But with her on the back, got to be a little bit more careful. Don't want to get her hurt and busted up. So, and I did want to say one more thing before I go. We did eat at Jollibee. We had a little bit of junk food, and they came out with a new spicy burger. And if you like spicy, get that one. It was just loaded with jalapenos and this really good sauce, and I liked it. I wish they had better meat. I don't know Jollibee. We don't hardly ever eat there, but if my wife likes the chicken though. If you get the meat, I'm not sure that it's meat. I'm serious, guy. I don't know what it is. It's like a ground up flavored particle board. It's like a Salisbury steak. It's not really a hamburger. I don't know what it is, but I wish they would go into some meat. I do like to go to Burger King. They had an ad campaign. Somebody sent it to me a while back. I have it somewhere on the phone. I'll have to see if I can dig that out for you. But it was a commercial from Burger King. You might find it online. And they showed their hamburger and a McDonald's burger, and they were going day 1, day 2, and doing a time-lapse photo on it. And over a period of days, their hamburger molded up and like rotted, mulched into a pile of goo. And over the whole time, the McDonald's burger never changed state. And then the caption was, "Why don't you come over here and have some real food?" I said, "Oh boy, that was a serious dig on the food, guys. Wow." But the McDonald's, I don't even think it's food. Here and there putting chips in. My wife and I, sometimes we get a little tiff about her feeding these kids the ramen noodles. I had them kicked out of the house for the longest time, and then because of her little deal she's doing outside, now they're here, and that's all she wants to give them for breakfast now. That and right. I don't want to feed them gypsum board. The noodles there, they tell you it's bad for your kidneys and everything, and what the heck you want to eat? They give you a packet of chemicals and some gypsum board noodles, and there, eat that. I don't want to put that in my body, and especially I don't want my beautiful little babies putting it in the body. We went to the store the other day, and if she would stay with me, we would do pretty good, but she threw a packet of chemicals in the bag, and it said milk. It said milk drink on it, and I'm like, why did you buy this? I spend a lot of money on milk. I'll buy the real good Anchor if she wants the powdered milk, the real stuff. I just shake my head, and a bag of chemicals with oil. The number 2 ingredient on it was oil. They hydrogenize this oil and they feed it to you, and it's a heart attack in a bag. And I don't want it going in these kids. I want them to learn how to eat properly. I don't want them eating garbage. And I hope we can take care of it. It's just something I have to put my foot down on. And that one, I don't even want to give it to anybody. We spent the money on it, and I don't want to spend money on that. I spend a lot of money on food, but I definitely don't want to spend it on that crap. So, but I'm going to go ahead and let you go. My little buddy, he's my early riser with me, huh?
Fish out.
My beautiful baby. Hey, we'll see you guys.